Hi guys. Hi guys, hi guys, hi guys. Hi Stephanie. Hi Jen. Hi Amy. Hi. How are you guys? Hi, hi, hi. How are you? Thank you. Hi Vegas. For sure, Jen. I hope it works out. Fingers crossed. Excited for Sunday, yes. I'm doing really good. Well, I could be better. I admit, I could be better. I am irritated about the Oscars. Very irritated about the Oscars. So, oh, thank you so much, Jewel East Coast Design. Thank you, that's so nice. I'm okay. So, like, basically, if you don't know, Oscar nominations came out today. And, I'm in my feelings a little bit about it. Margot Robbie was not nominated for Best Actress, and Greta Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director. Ryan Gosling got the Best Actor nomination. America Ferrera got Best Supporting Actress nomination. For song, both What Was I Made For and I'm Just Ken got nominated for original song for a movie. Yeah. And it's not lost on me that of like the 5 directors nominated, thank you so much for subscribing, Cara. Of the 5 directors nominated, only one of them's a woman. And so it's just like it's not that great films are not being created by women. It's that they're not. This is why representation matters, you know, because if you're looking at an academy of men that's 91% white male voting on these things, of course they're not going to vote for the things that don't resonate with them. That story wasn't meant for that. For old white male, that story was not meant for those people. That's why representation matters. So when people come election season start going, we should vote for the best person of the job, regardless if they're a man or a woman, please remember this conversation, because this is why it's important. If women's rights and women's needs are important to you, then yes, prioritize that. I don't think that Margot was nominated at all. No. As an individual, no. Barbie was nominated. Barbie was nominated for Best Picture, I believe. Hold on, let's Google it. Yeah, it is. And I know it's all just patriarchy, but it still like doesn't make it hurt less. You know what I mean? Okay, so Best Picture, Barbie is nominated, along with American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Best Actress, neither Margot nor America were nominated here. These might be all white women now that I'm looking at this. Annette Bening, Lily Gladstone, Sandra Hüller, Carey Mulligan, and Emma Stone. I believe those are all white women. I think whether or not you are a fan of Barbie, you can't deny the cultural impact that Barbie had, right? And if you're in film, then you can certainly acknowledge that the way that Barbie went was not the easy or the most expected route for that film to take. And it's the reason most directors wouldn't touch that film with a 10-foot pole. The risk that Greta Gerwig took on that film was huge. And the way that they chose to tell that story was very unique, very creative. Lily Gladstone is Native. That's incredible. I love that. Okay, great. I love that it's not all white women. So there's at least that. That's very good. I hope that she wins. That's incredible. First Native. That's incredible. Best Supporting Actor, Ryan Gosling got nominated for Barbie. Supporting Actress, this is where we see America Ferrera. We are commiserating about Barbie. Best director, it is all men except Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall. It should really chap your ass that Christopher Nolan and Martin Scorsese are once again in here. Those two men have so much capital. They literally never have to take a risk. No one's taking a risk on their films. They can do whatever the fuck they want and play around and do whatever. And like, Greta doesn't have the grace to fail. If Barbie was not a huge box office success, Greta Gerwig would never work in Hollywood again. By saying we think that Margot deserved a nomination, it doesn't mean that anyone else is less incredible, but I can still say that Margot deserved a nomination. And there are plenty of other, I mean, like, yeah. That's why representation matters, you guys, because like guys like Christopher Nolan, he literally, like, it is not a risk for him to fail, right? Like, that's not a thing. Greta had to succeed, and she had to succeed in a way this incredible, and she's still not getting those nominations. You know what I mean? Like, Barbie hit $1 billion in the box office. That's huge. Most of those other directors on that list won't ever have a film that successful, right? Barbie was that successful, and still Greta isn't getting nominated. You know? That's why it's so crazy. Yeah, and that's why, like, when we're talking about these women-led spaces, right? Like, what we don't need is men to go, you said it best, good job. What we need is for men to hear misogyny happening and go, let me step in here and correct you before women feel the need to get involved, right? Like, it is, like, that's what's going to stop patriarchy, is men catching this problem in real time with women. Instead of having to be constantly taught by women that this is a problem, it's like men catching on in real time. My shirt does say NFL Taylor's version. My friend got it for me. I love it so much. I have it in my showcase. Blender's glasses? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I love this sweatshirt. It's very cute. Okay. Barbie is nominated for also Best Adapted Screenplay. For Original Song, it's I'm Just Ken and What Was I Made For both made it on there. I just don't know why the joke song is the one that's even... Like, you're not telling me... Of the other movies, there wasn't a better song than I'm Just Ken. Like, that was the... Whatever. Yeah, original score is... Whatever. It's not nominated for original screenplay because it's nominated for adapted screenplay. So... Yeah. Truthfully, I don't know why, because... They didn't really adapt it for much. Barbie wasn't even like a fully fledged character, but whatever. So it's nominated for adapted screenplay, not original. Yeah, right, Brandy? Like, why adapted? Like, what's adapted about it? Whatever. Original song is both. Costume design, of course, it's nominated for. Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's just like production design. It's also nominated for. It's just frustrating. That's all. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating to just... Oh, thanks so much. That's nice to hear you say. I think I just had such high hopes that we could go into this award season, and I still do. Like, I don't think that this doesn't mean that... I hope America Ferrera gets her moment. That's ultimately what I want more than anything for Barbie, is for America Ferrera. Then, if Greta Gerwig can't win Best Director, I would love for America Ferrera to win for Best Supporting Actress and have her moment. I think that, again, huge, culturally powerful, culturally significant moment, and that needs to happen. But I wanted that to happen for Greta and for Margot Robbie and just Barbie. That movie meant a lot to me. It does mean a lot to me. Yeah, I think Hunger Games would be in the next, but I'm not sure. I'm doing okay. It's just like, it's just really goddamn frustrating. Just really damn frustrating. Oh, nothing's really going on. We're just talking about the Oscars and how disappointed I am. I don't really know if Taylor went back to Kansas City. And I think that maybe we should, like, the route that I've been taking is I haven't really been speculating on it as much at all, right? Because I feel like they've obviously been laying low, and so that's what they want. So, you know what I mean? So I haven't been speculating too much about if she's in Kansas City or if she's in New York. Again, I feel like we'll see her again later in the week in New York. But I feel like there's a chance she could be in Kansas City, and so, like, that might be why they're just, like, laying low, and that's cool, We're also, it's just, like, about time to get into the point where she's going to want to start rehearsing again. And so we talked about this again before. Not everything's going to be a dress rehearsal. She probably only needs to do one of those actually on stage in Tokyo, but we are getting to the point where she'll want to at least start walking through, if not like doing a complete run through. And again, we talked a little bit about that being feasible in a hotel ballroom or convention center, anywhere they can tape out the dimensions of the stage. She can do that indoors. But she will want to be somewhere that she can do that on a regular schedule, I do expect to see her at the Baltimore. I expect her to see her, if they go to the Super Bowl, she's going to be there, guys. What does that even mean? Yeah, she's going to be there. Chiefs are donating to Tyler Bass's animal charity. I'm not surprised by that. Hi, Chelsea. I'm not surprised by that. That seems like a very Chiefs thing to do, but I hope that guy's okay, because, like, I know how Chiefs fans are, and Chiefs fans would not have been nice if that was our kicker in that situation. So I feel for him. I also hope the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, I think we can expect to see her at every game from here on out, you guys, without a doubt. Her going to so many away games, I think just, like, proves to me that she's like she's in it. You know what I mean? Like, she's in it. She's gonna go. So when it comes to Tokyo, there's a couple things working in the favor of the Super Bowl that people are forgetting. The first is there's a 16-hour time change, right? So she has a show on, let me make sure I'm right, Saturday the 10th in Tokyo. And the Super Bowl is Sunday, February 11th in Las Vegas, Nevada. So she's got plus 16 hours, extra hours to work with. The flight, from what I understand, is only like 11 and a half, 13 hours. She usually, what she had been doing on international flights is leaving immediately after. I think there was one show that she stayed a little bit longer, but most of the shows she got on the jet immediately afterwards. So Tokyo, to make it work, she'd need to get on the jet immediately after. She could literally sleep, shower, get ready, and everything in her jet, land in Vegas, and still have about 8 to 10 hours extra to spare because of the late start time of the game. So yeah, she can definitely, Brazil. Thank you, Jen. Yes, thank you. Yeah, she could definitely make Tokyo and the Super Bowl. So, like, I think that I'm expecting her to be at every game at this point. Like, she's proven that she's in it, you know? And I think that's also, like, that's just Taylor. Like, you guys, if you are a fan of Taylor, like, you know that about her then. She's just, like, deeply caring, right? Like, yes, I always will upload my live onto YouTube. Sometimes TikTok is iffy about downloading it, and sometimes YouTube is iffy about uploading it. So it might take a while, but I will always do it, I promise. If you ever are, like, if it's been, like, over 24 hours and you still haven't seen it, just hit me up on Instagram. Yeah. Oh, hi, Kayla. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, that's just how, like, that's the vibe that we've always gotten from Taylor, right? Is that, like, she's just always willing to make it work with whomever, and, like, when she cares about you, she'll fly wherever to go to dinner with you or be with you or see you. I mean, like, she pretty much moved herself to London for 3 years to be with Joe, you know? So I absolutely think we'll be there. Hi, how are you? And I just, like, you know, just think about it, like, when you're traveling, if you had the convenience of, first off, not being cramped in a plane, right? If you had a full bed, if you had the option to take a shower and have, like, a nice normal bathroom with food that you actually enjoyed, and, you know, a change of clothes that would be easy to like, that would change the game of traveling for me. That would change everything for me. I would not care about traveling, because then suddenly I could sleep. I could get my errands done basically on the plane. Like, you could like, you know, oh gosh, I need to do a couple things on my laptop. You can do that during the plane. You can plan on sleeping on the flight. You can, you know, take your shower and start getting ready. Like, I would be like, perfect. That's 11 hours on a plane that I can take care of all of my, like, personal needs. Yeah. Yeah, she has everything she needs on that jet. She's set. I mean, it only takes her 10 minutes to write a song, right? So she could technically write a whole song. Hi. I don't see why she wouldn't go to the Super Bowl. I mean, we gotta even make it first, right? So, like, first things first, I'm sure she'll be in Baltimore. I'm sure she'll be in Baltimore. So, that's very exciting. You know, I wondered about that, Deb, if I think she brings, like, a hairdresser or, like, a makeup person. And, like, I don't know. Because on one hand, the only time Taylor really was, like, out about, like, oh, I did my own hair and makeup was the Folklore and Evermore eras. I'm sorry, my hair is just being crazy today. Was during Folklore and Evermore. And I'm not saying that she's not talented with makeup. Just that the style of makeup she did for Folklore and Evermore was much different than, like, what she usually wears at the Chiefs games and stuff. Like, it's very red lip classic with the eyeliner. So I don't know if that's her, because I can't, those two, the skills between that look and the Evermore Folklore look are very, very different. I would assume if I had the kind of wealth that Taylor Swift had, I would have someone to do my hair and makeup personally. I would have someone with me, but I don't know if she does for sure. Do I think Jason and Kylie will be at the Chiefs game? Yes, I do. No, I don't think she'd have, because really, Europe is 6.5, 7-hour flight from New York, and New York is her home. So if you sleep 8 hours at night, like, Taylor Swift might as well just get on a plane and sleep and go back to her house for the week instead of staying in Europe, you know? Yeah, I always watch the Eras Tour live streams. So, yeah, Tokyo will be no different. I'll definitely watch it. But I don't know. I mean, we just watch whichever stream we can, right? Nice to see you, sissy. This is gonna annoy you. I don't really know my lip color. It's like an old Charlotte Tilbury sample. When it runs out, I'll cry. It's like rubbed off, like all of it. I could probably search it, but. Any rumors of Taylor in Kansas City? Not really. Which leads me to believe that they're just like trying to be quiet about wherever she is. So, yeah, that's cool. Oh, so you guys are talking about like where does her security team stay? Like where does her staff or whatever stay? My guess is that the security teams probably work in shifts anyways, right? And so when they're not on shift, I would assume they probably have a hotel room. And then that way the guys that are on shift are with Taylor. Let's talk about the stalker for a second, you guys. Cause yeah, okay, saw it. That he got arrested again. That guy's been arrested like twice in the last week. Now, trying to be careful about what I say. She was not home at the time. Here is, I don't know how I want to say this, guys, because I want to be nice, but I also don't really want to be nice. I think it is time for Swifties to reevaluate the relationship we have with Taylor Swift and her location and her safety. She has had multiple like stalker situations in the past. Multiple issues with this. And that is only perpetuated when fans who might mean well overstep, right? And you don't get a pass just because you're a fan and you didn't mean to overstep. You need to be smart, right? If you are not invited to the space that Taylor Swift is in, and by that I mean if you did not purchase a ticket and earn your right to be there, or if Taylor and her team did not extend you an invitation, you are not invited. You do not go. You do not go and wait outside of Electric Lady Studios. You do not go and wait at the Eras Tour film premiere and see if you can get in or see her. You certainly do not go to her home. You don't wait outside of Arrowhead hoping to see her on a random Monday. All of these things are under the umbrella of going too far, even when it comes from do well meaning fans. People who would never hurt or harm Taylor, it doesn't matter. If you're overstepping the boundary, you're still overstepping the boundary. Because all it does, even if you might mean well, is all it does is open up for that to be okay for guys like this stalker to do it. And it blurs the lines of what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. It is not appropriate to show up anywhere Taylor Swift might be. That's never appropriate. Appropriate to show up anywhere Taylor Swift might be. That's never appropriate. Yep. Jack's wedding was bad. And fucking embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing, right? You might have been having issues with the live because my phone was ringing, so that's why I kind of just like stopped answering for a hot second. Jack's wedding was embarrassing. Yes and no on the jet tracking getting shut down. I'm not a jet tracker hater, because ultimately it's whatever. The reason I don't explicitly hate the jet tracker is because it just is what it is. We're never going to get rid of that entirely. Some form of it is always going to exist because it has to exist. So at that point, then it comes down to people being appropriate. Oh, hi, Amy. You seem really nice. I hope you have the day you deserve. We're literally talking about someone's health and safety. So, the jet tracker thing is whatever, but it comes down to people having appropriate reactions. And so okay, just knowing if she's in New York or Kansas City is usually not enough, right? But again, knowing that she's in Kansas, knowing she's in New York, for instance, isn't enough to send you to Electric Lady Studios. What drove you to go to Electric Lady Studios? You know? Correct, Jess. With the jets, they don't post her specific location, and it's usually posted once it's usually on a delay. It's fine. It's fine. Is it the best practice? No. It just is what it is. There's no changing that until they change the law. So you know what I mean? That's just not, the jet thing is just not gonna ever go away. And so it just is, you know? But what we can do is control about us using that information in a way that's inappropriate and unsafe, right? And so if you see Taylor Swift's plane took off from Kansas City to Newark, and you then take that information to go stand and wait at Newark Airport, you're the problem. Not the jet page, you're the problem. Or if you're the person that took a picture of her at the airport, Taylor Swift at this airport, you're the problem. And here's my question, guys. What's the difference between those people, right, fans, waiting outside Electric Lady Studios to take a photo of Taylor Swift? What's the difference of them between them and paparazzi? Is the difference that they enjoy her music? Does that make it okay? Because in my opinion, paparazzi are at least getting paid for their time. When people went to the wedding, I was embarrassed. Yeah, same. I think I posted a video the day after, and I was like, that's fucking embarrassing for you. What I don't understand is how the paparazzi knows where she is all the time. Fans. There's a couple reasons. Fans, they look at trending, they look at Taylor Swift hashtags on Twitter and Instagram too. They find all that and they use that. But another added layer about paparazzi is that's part of why paparazzi has not been super successful in Kansas City so far, okay? Paparazzi usually get paid for the amount of photos they can sell to different publications, okay? So say you're a paparazzi person in New York, right? And you know these celebrity hotspots, it behooves you to wait outside that spot and take photos of as many celebrities as you can and then sell them, right? If you get $5,000 per celebrity, line up and get as many celebrities as you can, okay? So when you're in Kansas City, one, we don't really have that many celebrities here, okay? So you're talking about maybe trying to sell a picture of Taylor Swift plus some Chiefs players, which a lot of people don't care to see, honestly. Unless you're in Kansas City, a lot of people don't care to see just random Chiefs players out and about, okay? But then there's also the fact of a hot spot, right? And the way Kansas City's set up doesn't make it easily accessible to stay in one central location and be within 2 to 3 minutes of those hotspots at any given time. Kansas City's just very spread out, and there's different neighborhoods for these like nice areas, but they're each like 20-30 minutes apart. So taking a random shot at is she going to be downtown or at the plaza, and which restaurant might she go to, and just camping out there, that's a risk you're taking, and it's very, very slim. It's probably not going to happen for you. You know what I mean? So it's just one of the main reasons. There is also like just the Kansas City thing to bring into it too, is that like, I got my sweater from a friend off the TikTok shop. I have it in my showcase. Yeah. Yeah, it's, people don't realize this about Kansas City. Kansas City is like landmass wise, one of the larger cities in the United States by landmass, not by like population, obviously, but because we have a lower population in comparison to the landmass, like the one that we're actually closest to is New York, in landmass, right? But New York has so many more millions of people tucked into this landmass, whereas Kansas City doesn't. So it's like super spread out. Yeah, so they won't find her easily in Kansas City. New Year's and her birthday week was the exception, and that wasn't paparazzi either. That was those were fan photos. From Twitter, I believe, is where they came from. My glasses are just on Amazon. It was like $20 for a 5-pack. I've been rotating those suckers out for years. Yeah, okay, so someone said they won't find her easily in Kansas City. New Year's and her birthday was the exception. Yeah. Yeah. No, these are just blue light Blu-ray, which I have to wear now all the time. So I usually wear them when I'm recording or when I'm like going live. Because I just get super bad headaches at the end of the day because I'm looking at like all 3 screens, you know? Oh, totally. Yeah. So Marcy says, hi, Bethany. Marcy goes, aren't there planned pap walks? Yeah, totally. Like, I feel like every time we see Taylor going from car to restaurant, that's usually a planned pap walk. She, like, that's why people read into the outfits and stuff so much, because she, like, wants us to see those things, and she knows that we know that she wants us to see them. So, like, she knows we're going to be looking at them. And I think that's why people, like, I mean, that's why I love it. That's why I like to look at the photos. And I'm like, what does this mean? She knows that we know that she knows that we know. Yes. Yeah, it was like a very Friends moment we had here, right? Yeah. Yeah, that guy was arrested again. Thank God for that. Bethany, how are you today? Are you bummed about the Oscars? Because I'm super bummed. Jess, no, we've not found out about the heart necklace. If you guys see anything, please tag me. I'm like, yeah, super bummed. Her and Travis went out last year in New York and we only saw him. I felt, yeah, it is a crime. About the Oscars is that, like, so just quick recap, Chelsea. Barbie was nominated for a bunch of Oscars, but Greta Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director, and Margot Robbie wasn't nominated for Best Actress. Ryan Gosling got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and America Ferrera got a Best Supporting Actress nomination. Best Original Song, they also nominated both What Was I Made For and I'm Just Ken, so that has me feeling a little bit like, please do the right thing. It just feels like a really huge loss that Barbie had such a culturally significant moment. And largely that was due to the work of Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie directing, producing, and starring in the film. And so to see that contribution ignored by one of the most prestigious academies in the world, film academies in the world, to see it ignored by a group that is predominantly older white males, they weren't the target audience anyways. And so, like, it just puts me in this doom spiral of, like, this is why reputation matters. This is why we've been saying representation matters and why it's so important. Because, of course, a bunch of old white dudes didn't go in there and say Barbie deserved to win anything. Of course they didn't. They weren't the audience for that message. But if that room looked like America looks, not the actress, the actual United States of America, or the world even, let's one up it, it's international films. If that room reflected the different races, creeds, nationalities, sexes of the world, would Barbie have gotten nominated and would have won? They do have to choose between a lot of films and actors, but they had one female director on that list. And it was not because there were not good female films directed by women. It's because they just were not consuming them. So again, it just brings us right back to representation, right? Of course they're not consuming films that they're not the target audience for. I don't consume films meant for old white men either. Like, that's just not going to happen. But that's why the rooms that are voting on these things need to be reflective of the actual society that they're supposed to be representing, right? Otherwise, just say that you're representing old white dudes, and that's fine. But we're not going to take you as this prestigious film academy because you don't represent all of us. Margot had me in tears throughout the entire film. Thanks, Tanya. She was incredible. And that moment between her and the older woman on the bench where she says, like, you're so beautiful, was so lost on so many men. Melinda, if you haven't seen Barbie, I really would recommend it. It's sad. It's sad. It is a commentary on patriarchy, but oh, you're watching Barbie right now? I'm so glad. Yeah, when Barbie says to that older woman, like, you're so beautiful, it was this moment of, like, it was like acknowledging your own mortality and acknowledging that aging is a privilege. That aging is beautiful in all of its forms, but aging is a privilege, right? Barbie didn't think she could age. She's sitting on the bench as this unaging doll and looks at an old woman who is well past her prime, not considered beautiful by most humans, overlooked by most of society, and Barbie, the stereotype epitome of beautiful, looks at her and says, you're so beautiful. Yeah. Did you guys see that one video of that girl going around that she was like, this is my skin, I'm like, I think she said I'm 30 years untouched or whatever, and God, she got fucking dragged. It made me so sad. I didn't look at the comments. I couldn't look at the comments. It's really hard. It's really hard to accept aging gracefully. Like, I am really struggling with it right now because I feel like I am not finally, but like, I feel like I'm starting to show my age in ways that is making me aware of it finally, you know? And so I am not fully there yet. There are still days where I want Botox a lot. And If you get Botox, that's fine. There's no judgments against you. I'm 34. I was born in 1989. I'm the same age as Taylor. If you are a Botox person, that is so fine. Whatever makes you feel good and whatever makes you happy. I am just trying to love myself this way. The Chiefs cannot ever wear black and white jerseys. It is an NFL thing. The NFL has scheduled out like days where they can wear alternate jerseys, like the color rush and like the throwback jerseys. They pre-schedule those. Playoffs is not included on the schedule. They'll wear white and red. And it'll be an away game, so they'll more than likely, they'll be in red. Baltimore will be in white. Now the question is, will they be wearing red on red? Or red jerseys, white pants? I like when they do red on red. Red on red looks good to me. I like that look. You know what I always think of, and this is for like the OG Chiefs fans. The red on red was always Eric Berry's favorite combination, and I'm gonna do a Football for Swifties edit or a Football for Swifties video just on Eric Berry, because if you want to be a Chiefs fan, you have to know about Eric Berry. Tell me in the comments, you guys, like, if you know who he is, say something. Eric Berry used to play for the Chiefs. He was a safety or a cornerback. I can't remember. Yes, Eric Berry was an incredible defensive player. We loved him so much. He did great things for Kansas City, and then one year, out of the blue, in the middle of the season, he was diagnosed with leukemia, with cancer. And took him out. I mean, like, it was very aggressive. He immediately had to step back from the season. And he had radiation and chemo. Eric Berry worked so hard during his chemo and radiation treatments that he gained weight during chemo. He gained 2 pounds during chemo. Do you know how hard that is? He was at his NFL fittest. Big, strong muscle dude, okay? Working out multiple times a day. Got cancer. Was getting treatment. And usually you've seen people do chemo treatments. They lose weight fast. They lose weight fast because it makes them sick and they can't eat. It's really hard on your body. And Eric Berry worked so hard during his chemo treatments that he gained 2 pounds. That is so resilient. He beat the cancer. He came back and he played for the Chiefs and he had an incredible season. His story is so inspiring and absolutely remarkable. Just remarkable. I'll never forget the contributions Eric Berry made to the Chiefs. He, just a phenomenal player. Yeah. I guarantee you, even if you don't think you're a Chiefs fan or you haven't known the Chiefs for that long, I guarantee you've seen Eric Berry highlights. I believe he's now retired, freshly retired, maybe 2 or 3 years retired. You've definitely seen Eric Berry highlights. If you've watched the Chiefs at all, he was number 29. 29. If you see any like Chiefs interception videos or something, check if it was Eric Berry. It probably was. If they're throwback videos, it probably was. I wanted an Eric Berry jersey really bad, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So, I didn't get one, but it's okay. Eric Berry was before Mahomes. Yeah, he played with Alex Smith and before then too, but yeah. Yeah, I do want to look into Alex Smith. I've talked a little bit about Alex Smith before. I don't remember how he came up. But we talked about him briefly before in one of my Football for Swifties videos, just like how he had that fracture, right? He almost lost his life, let alone his limb, and walking again and playing football again. And the Chiefs donated to his charity in $11 increments when he got hurt to, like, thank you, Alex, you know, because we were like, everyone loved Alex Smith in Kansas City. Everyone loved Alex Smith. Like, no one wanted to see him go. I think most people wanted Alex Smith to stay and be Patrick Mahomes' backup for the first year, but Alex Smith didn't want that. So, oh, Kate says I have a good memory. Thank you, Kate. It's the autism. For real. There's no Taylor news today, Becca. No Taylor news today. Alex Smith's injury was so heartbreaking. But that's why I love to see him so much as a desk correspondent now. He's such a good guy, and he's so attractive. I love Alex Smith. Sorry, guys. I needed to answer an email. I know that's annoying. I have not seen the New Heights teaser video or anything like that. Haven't seen it. Truck, you never let me drive. Who's really bad at lying? What do I need to look up at? My sister's boyfriend is a Commanders fan. Sorry, I missed the comment, but someone just said they were a Commanders fan and they were really upset when Alex Smith broke his leg. My sister's boyfriend is a Commanders fan, and I just send him Chiefs stuff now for every for his birthday, for Christmas. Because I was like, the Commanders are like, they're not very good. And they don't even have Alex Smith. I would do it if they were Alex Smith, but are we going to beat the Ravens? Let's talk about it. So, I don't know. This is definitely the hardest way we could have done it. For sure. It would have been a much easier road if Houston had won. And then we could play them. But they didn't, so we're here. You know, the thing about the Chiefs is, like, I never bet against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Ever. I will always bet on playoff Patrick. And that truly is just like his record, right? He has the record to back it up. At this point, he's 10-3 in playoff games in his entire career. It's a pretty damn good percentage. I think the only thing that we can say for sure is that it's going to be a really good game. Like a really good game. It's going to be a lot of fun. They have a really good defense. Our defense has been playing really great recently too. They have a really good quarterback. So do we, but they have two different styles, right? Lamar Odom. Lamar Jackson is more likely to run the ball, and he's going to fuck you up. And, like, Patrick Mahomes will run the ball too, but also we have Isaiah Pacheco and Travis Kelce, and those guys are really huge. Like, so it just depends. It's going to be really tough. But we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And again, I stand by it. Same thing. I'll say same thing. As long as they're nice to Taylor, then may the best man win. But, literally, and I'm petty, all it takes is one. If I see one, I'm going to be like, then you guys get what you get at this point. You know? All it takes is one. You know, it's really funny you say that, Tanya. Let's talk about this because I'm going to pin this comment. All the sports guys are on the fence with who they will choose. They say Ravens, but then Mahomes. And can I just say, the Chiefs are just about the only team who could win a Super Bowl, go to like basically three Super Bowls in 4 years, and then still not get picked. Is still considered the underdog. You know what I mean? Like, only with the fucking Chiefs, man. I'm telling you. They all picked the Bills to beat us too, so it's fine. To be honest with you, I think that just like drives Patrick Mahomes more than anybody. And like, we also forget that Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl last year on one ankle with no O-line. like we're pretending like we don't have Patrick Mahomes in a better situation now than we did last year. So it's just, you know, I don't know. I think they're both really good teams. It's going to be a lot of fun. But you can't discount what Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have done for the past 3 or 4 years. Do we know if Joe Burrow and Travis still dislike each other? I have no idea. I think personally with the Chiefs, it's just like, quit talking shit. Because ultimately, like, Patrick Mahomes does not talk shit like that publicly, not before games. He will talk the most shit after a game, once he has the right, but he doesn't do it before then. The Chiefs are the final boss. Yeah, Kayla, I saw that. Are the Chiefs the new Patriots? I like to think that people don't hate Andy Reid the way that people hate Bill Belichick. But I see what you mean as far as the, like... We're talking about the Chiefs. Hi. Welcome in. Yeah, we're just talking about the Chiefs. And if we think they'll beat the Ravens. Ultimately, I have no idea. And I think it's just going to be a good game no matter what happens. Happy you're here. Is that sarcasm that people hate Bill Belichick? Is that... Okay. I'm going to go with yes. I have seen the football scripted theory. We can talk about it. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I hate to be the one to break it to you. Everyone hates Bill Belichick. Sorry, babe. Most people... I hate him, and I can admit that he's very good at what he does. Very good coach. Hate him. Hate him. Yeah, I thought everyone knew that. Sorry. I didn't mean to just drop that bomb. Let's talk about football as scripted theory. Let's talk about it. No, of course not. People are such conspiracy theorists. It's the media literacy piece once more, right? It's like... The difference is, right, when Swifties saw the Folklore cover and looked like it had photoshopped Woodvale in the trees, we said, oh my gosh, it might be another album. And then they said, that was our placeholder. And we went, damn it. I don't really believe you, but damn it. That happens all the time. Like, all the time. When you're creating like news graphics for anything, but like when you're drafting something that you need to be able to plug the team names in, you usually have a placeholder. And sometimes that placeholder will be generic. Team 1. Sometimes you get someone who's feeling a little goofy and they put the Chiefs in there because that's who they want to see win. You know? That's all that stuff is. It's just people putting placeholders in to see what they look like with a certain graphic or with a certain, and just it's getting missed in editing. It's like people every year, you guys, every year this happens. Every year some fan base starts it up again with the NFL is scripted. every year. And then it doesn't go anywhere, right? Nothing happens, right? The refs come out and the refs are like, no, it's not scripted. I don't know what to say. And then it recycles next year. Yeah, it's usually when their team loses, and that's how you know it's just conspiracy theories. That's it. Like, who was that? Practically Perf Becky. Someone said it in your other live. The billionaire owners wouldn't allow a script. No, they wouldn't, because it doesn't serve them, right? Honestly, guys, and it just hit me, the Lions kind of scare me. I might root for the Niners. Only because the Lions beat the Chiefs. If the Chiefs don't make it to the Super Bowl, I want it to be the Lions. That's fine. Go Lions. That's fine. Whatever. But also, we love Kristen Juszczyk. So, Niners. You know, The thing is like, at the end of the day, both of them are really good teams. So, either one we play is going to be difficult and will pose their own threats and challenges. But the Lions already beat us this year. So, that makes me want to play them a lot less. You know, is it just like obviously something? Taylor Nation posted on Instagram, how many secrets with 3 S's do we think are hiding in that hair? So is this a Mean Girls reference? Has to be, right? Here's the thing with Taylor Nation. I think that they are Easter egging us about 25% of the time, tops. You know? Niners, Chiefs, Lions don't scare me. Too hard to beat a team twice. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I get it. Yeah, totally. Kansas City has been where the Lions are. Okay. So this is Taylor getting ready for the Bejeweled music video. Jack Antonoff is in the photo. How many secrets with 3 S's, so obviously we're looking like a snake, do we think are hiding in that hair? That's a Mean Girl reference. That's a Mean Girl reference. Gretchen Wieners. That's why your hair's so big, it's full of secrets, right? I'm not crazy, right? Help! Taylor Nation heard my plea for Easter eggs today so that I can just stop drowning and can float a little bit and have a little bit of fun, clownery, and goofing off. Yeah, this is a Mean Girls reference, but why? See, this is what I'm saying. I don't think everything Taylor Nation posts is an Easter egg per se. I think that they, just like to screw with us and troll. Damien did say it. Yes, that's right. About Gretchen Wieners, right? It was about Gretchen. I don't know if Taylor's friends with Renee Rapp. I'm sure she would support Renee Rapp. It looks like the ones in her hair are the S and the N for Speak Now. Because remember she had TS and then in a different, it was SN. It looks like it's SN to me. I don't know if that has anything to do with this photo. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry you're having a tough day. The vibe in Kansas City is cold. Thank you so much for liking my house decoration. So this is what we're talking about. Taylor Nation just tweeted, posted on Instagram, etc. And it says, How many secrets with 3 S's do we think are hiding in that hair? So truthfully, if I'm being honest, this might just be them being supportive and being like, go see Mean Girls, you know? But also like bringing it back to TS and also egging Reputation with this. Yeah, because I haven't seen anything about Taylor having anything to do with Mean Girls. I haven't heard anything about a song. I mean, that would have dropped the minute people could see it if she was in somehow featured or something was sampled or whatever. Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. I think it's because the movie's out, because they're supporting other women. Reputation didn't sample Mean Girls. Look What You Made Me Do sampled I'm Too Sexy. Well, this is a Reputation Easter egg, I think, because they say the secrets. So that's definitely a snake reference. Yeah, I think this is just like Mean Girl support. Yeah, the trust issues thing, but I do think that was an Easter egg for 23. The secret in her hair was the Speak Now pins, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that could be it. Taylor heard me. I need to see it on Taylor. Mean Girls came out on 112. Okay. Let's talk about 112. Okay. I know people are going to get mad at me and leave my life. I'm not a subscriber of the 112 theory. Okay. I'm sorry. Here's why. There's 3 reasons. First, the very first thing I saw about it was the Eras Tour clock being stuck on 224, and the first thing we did was divide it, and I don't know why we would do that. 2. 12 plus 1 is 13. So I think a lot of our clues that we're subscribing, that we're chalking up to 112 is actually just 13. Taylor doing the 13 thing, you know? The third and really the most important reason I don't subscribe to the 13 thing, if you do, I'm not judging you. Everyone believes their own thing. But the third and final reason I don't subscribe to the 112 theory is because the 112 theory at this point, Nikki has said it doesn't. At this point, Nikki has said the 112 theory does not support announcements. And so that's part of the reason everyone was clowning so hard for November 26th, is that based on the 112 theory, that's when Taylor would have had to announce Reputation in order for 216 to stay the course for the 112 theory, if I'm understanding it correctly. There was no announcement on November 26th. I personally do not believe that Taylor is ever going to do a surprise drop on any album ever again, because she's just going to lose too much sales. I don't think she would do it. So at this point, I don't think 216 is going to happen as a drop date. Announcement potentially, but as a drop date, I don't think it's going to happen. So that would mean then 112 doesn't apply. I agree with you, Emily. I think like it's absolutely happening. Like an announcement is happening in February no matter what. I think that that's like the only thing that we can be sure of at this point. Melinda, you're with me. I agree with you. February announcement with an April release. I think that like for that theory supposedly now is supposed to be announced soon, but out in April. Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is that then that theory no longer applies. You know what I mean? So, like, if we're switching it up, the whole thing was based on a rolling clock of 112, 112, 112. And so if it didn't apply, then we need to stop and not apply it and rework, in my opinion, not change it to be 112 from the start of the new year or whatever. I don't think that's how it works, you know? That's just me, though. As far as announcement goes, I personally believe in 223, 224. I've been very honest and open about this since last March. I've thought that 224, 223 was going to be the thing. And I say both of those dates because it's in my videos, but 224 in Sydney, Australia would be 223 in the States. So Sydney night 2 is what I think we're going to see an announcement for. I agree with you, Melinda. I think that we'll see a release of Reputation in April, and I have backup for that as well. The most damning evidence I have is the Eras Tour set list. So, first is Lover, first album she owned. Second set is Fearless. She announced Fearless in February. The Speak Now set is set 5. She announced Speak Now in May, the 5th month. Red is the 6th set. She announced Red Taylor's version in June, the 6th month. Midnights is the 10th set, and Midnights was released in October, which was the 10th month. Reputation is the 4th set. So by that logic, I think Reputation will either be announced or released in April. And based on the other eggs we've gotten, I think it's pretty clear that Reputation is being announced in February sometime. So 1 + 1 = 2. I think we'll see Reputation in April. As for the actual date, I'm not sure. 4/12/24, April 12th, 24 adds up to 13. So, like 4, I don't have a piece of paper. Hold, please. Hold, please. I'm going to do it. Okay, 4/12/24. 4 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 4. Is that right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, that makes 13. This is going to be backwards for you guys, but... if you're behind on my 223, 224 playlist, or a theory, I have a whole playlist. 223 playlist. I think my most recent video in there is just like a 3-minute long recap over the entire theory. So like, that's the best way to start. Yeah, and that's the thing about, like, I believe that Easter eggs aren't really math problems for us to solve. I do think that they're usually kind of like hidden in plain sight kind of things. Some of them, yes, are a little more intricate, but the nature of Easter eggs is a hidden in plain sight clue, right? So that's why I think when we see something like 224 and 223 on the Eras clock, I think we take that at face value instead of immediately splitting it and going from that. So, I mean, my very first 224, 223 video was when I first started making content, which would have been back in August, July or August, I think, based on the Eras Tour clock that we saw in March. I've been talking to my friend about it for a very long time. And for a while, I must admit, I thought that we had a chance of seeing 1989 announced on that day because I was seeing a lot of those 24-23 signs. And I was like, Sydney is where she did that 1989 World Tour video. So, like, I could see 1989 coming when she's in Sydney. Obviously, 1989 came sooner, but that doesn't mean that the 223-24 clues aren't there. That was me using confirmation bias on the 1989 part to falsely attribute 223 to 1989. Yeah, the new Taylor Nation post, which I think is definitely, like, secrets, right? Like, we're egging Reputation. But the rest of this, I think, this is how we got here anyways. Mean Girls was released on January 12th. I think that this is like a Mean Girls, like, go see Mean Girls, support the girlies. I know the videos I'm going to see on my For You page later, though. What do I think she's going to do for the Reputation vault? I think she's going to surprise all of us. The thing with the Rep vault is it could go one of two ways, right? Reputation was a bait and switch. She sold us with Look What You Made Me Do and this bad bitch villain era. And then we got love songs. Almost entirely love songs, you know? So the vault tracks could be either more love songs, or it could be more of the bait from the bait and switch. It could be more of these tea spilling, hard hitting, look what you made me do, this is why we can't have nice things type of vibe. Obviously, that's what we're hoping for. But it could be love songs. She said in the interview they were fire, which makes me think hard hitting. Yeah, I think, but like, that's the thing is that, like, Ready For It is a banger, but Ready For It is a love song. Really, it's a love song. I think whatever they're going to be nice, easy listening, like, stuff that we want to turn on and, like, yeah. But is it going to spill the tea, or is it going to be like a love ballad? I don't know. Yeah, we were just talking about Taylor Nation's post. Do I think the vault tracks were completely written back at the original time? Yes and no. I think that the vault songs were more than likely, yes, written in the vault and on the floor. I do think that Taylor takes creative editing changes, though, before they hit the final cut. Because why wouldn't she? If you had new work you were going to put out, you would absolutely edit it again and change it and fix something that maybe you were bugged by that you did 10 years ago before. Which I think is definitely what Taylor did in a lot of these. And I think it made it great. Like, yeah, she's totally a perfectionist. Like, why would she not make changes, you know? And she can't really make changes to the originals, right? She did better than Revenge because of the one lyric. Even that was a risk, because people are still, the point of the new re-records is to devalue the old ones. And so now that's not necessarily devalued because the new album doesn't have that lyric on it. And if you were, for whatever reason, attached to that original lyric, the only way you can hear it is by consuming the stolen art, right? So she can't really go through and rewrite Fearless, for instance, if she has since thought of a better lyric to go there. That wouldn't be the point. So I can't imagine 2012 Taylor writing Fuck the Patriarchy. Plenty of people were saying Fuck the Patriarchy in 2012, myself included. And again, I'm Taylor's same age, so she would have been exposed to a lot of the same media as myself. People were absolutely saying Fuck the Patriarchy in 2012. But I get older, but your lovers stay my age. That's a line I think she came back and edited, right? Because back then, there's no way she would have known that Jake Gyllenhaal's girlfriends were all going to be young and in their early 20s. But now, in hindsight, yes, she can write that line in. Yeah, I don't think the Fuck the Patriarchy line was edited or redone, but I do think there were other lines, like, I get older, but your lovers stay my age. I think all of them were all written when she's claiming they were originally written. I just think that she's made creative editing choices to make them better for us. Like, Is It Over Now, for instance? Probably, I think it was written then. Absolutely written then. But I think the ranty way in which she's writing bridges now is something that has come a little easier to her since Folklore Evermore era and fits some of those songs a little bit better. So this, even during Lover, she does it during Death by a Thousand Cuts. The way she just sort of like, she's always done a bridge really well. All Too Well is proof of that. But the way that she's been going into these, seeing these bridges, not as like the middle of a song, but almost like the climax and the end of the song, the way she does in like, Is It Over Now? You're Losing Me. Like, works her way up to this song, and then the end of it just hits like this, you know? That I think is something maybe that Taylor edited, tweaked a bit on Is It Over Now? You know what I mean? Yeah. Again, I don't know personally. I'm just guessing. Do you think it bothers Travis certain songs, or he's whatever? I don't think it would. Yeah, I don't think it would. I think, like, first off, when you date an artist like that, like, any kind of art, personal like life and experience like has to be the subject matter in order to come across as authentic. If you're creating art based on someone else's reality, it just doesn't come through. It doesn't hit for the viewer, right? And that's the great thing about art, is that even though it could have been written, inspired, drawn inspiration from, you know, something else, is that you can always reapply that interest or reapply that muse. And we see people do that all the time. You know what I mean? They love a certain song and they think of someone when they hear it, but then they break up, and then maybe then they reapply that song to someone else in their life later on down the road. Yeah. And that's exactly it, Melinda. We all know she basically has rebranded Endgame at this point for Travis. Yeah. And at this point, like, I think that, like, London Boy, we can take as, instead of such a specific song for Joe, we can take as a theory. You know, instead of saying, you know, I love a London boy, you know, I love a London boy. You know, it's like, you know, I love him. I love a London boy. I love him. We can take it as an idea instead of a specific. Yeah. And I think that will be, everyone's saying she won't sing it. I think she will. I think it would be really fun to sing that in Wembley Stadium. And people would absolutely shout out the areas that they're from, right? As she's singing. What is it? I enjoy walking Soho, Market in the afternoon. He likes my American smile. Like, I could see people, like, shouting out where they're from as she's singing the song. Yeah. I think she'll sing it. I like London Boy. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's just fun it's fun and it's vibey. Yeah. I get so bugged by the Football Boy or Kansas City Boy covers because everyone says Kansas and it's like, it's not in Kansas, it's Missouri, but whatever. It would have made more sense to me for that cover to be like, instead of like Kansas City Boy or whatever it was, to like say Midwest. Because like he's from Ohio, you know? So like Ohio, Kansas City, Midwest. That would have made sense to me. But what do I know? I'm not a songwriter. Yeah, I know. TikTok didn't notify you. That's super annoying. It's been doing that, dude. I'm telling you. It's been going through like... It's having issues. Yeah, I think London Boy and Wembley would be awesome. Taylor Nation's post, we've talked about it. It's been up on my iPad. I don't think it's much of anything. I know we're going to get a bunch of 112 videos on it. And the reason why we're going to get a bunch of 112 videos is because it's obviously a Mean Girls reference. It's obviously a Reputation reference with The Secrets, and Mean Girls was released on January 12th this year. But I personally don't subscribe to the 112 theory. I think that this is just like a support Mean Girls and support other women, and also like a for Reputation coming. Personally, but again, I wouldn't be surprised. I know a ton of Americans who don't know. Who don't know what? Who don't know what? What don't we know? I mean, Americans don't know a lot. Should we look for Easter eggs in her hair? I don't think so. What date are you planning for Reputation TV? I'm going to answer that really quick. Let's talk about the Easter eggs in her hair. I don't think we're supposed to be looking for Easter eggs in her hair, one, because this picture is too grainy to see much detail. You can't even really tell if those are the SN barrettes or the TS. And I think it's the SN, but I really don't know. I'm just guessing. So I don't think we're meant to look through that for Easter eggs. The day I'm planning for Reputation TV is Sydney Night 2 for an announcement. I think it's possible we see a release, and I'm going to write this down because I liked the way that matched up, on April 12th of 2024. 4/12/24. If you want details, my 223 playlist, the most recent video on that is like 2 minutes long, and it has like a brief overview. But basically, the Eras Tour clock starts at 2:24. Sydney Night 2 is 2:24, but that would still be February 23rd in the United States. And she's also been Easter egging 23 for us with W words and all of her Instagram wrap-ups. On one very famous Nashville post, she bookended it with W words, and then she posted a picture of the front picture of the carousel was her and Phoebe singing Nothing New, which is track 23. There's a lot. So I'm very excited for February. I'm going to be watching every single one of the lives, but I'm not going to be fully clowning until that 2/23, 2/24 date gets here. And it's seriously, you guys, because this is not a new theory for me. Like, I've been clowning for this date since the Eras Tour started. I used to appropriate that with 1989. I thought, okay, we're getting 1989 in February in Tokyo or in Sydney, because Sydney is the same city that she filmed the 1989 World Tour in, right? But we've obviously since gotten 1989. But that doesn't mean the 2/23 and 2/24 shows aren't there, you know, or those Easter eggs aren't there. Oh, I'm glad I sold you, Beck. I think Melbourne is going to be an incredible show. Incredible show. I just think it's a little bit too soon. Ultimately, I'm going to be clowning basically I'm going to be watching every week in February, waiting for something to happen. It is also, right? It is also very possible that we could see 321. Taylor Nation put the post up at 321. I'm going to look at it on X because it always does it. It's also very possible that we see something on each one of those dates. Like, we could see a single drop. We could see a music video. We can see an announcement. We could see, there's just like, it's never ending, right? Like, we can see so many things. That's another good point, Melinda. Yeah. Melinda mentioned, like, we think that his family is going to go to Australia. I agree. Travis's family is the his we're talking about. Sorry. We have talked multiple times about Jason and Travis on the podcast and the amount of times they talk about Australia, and especially Sydney and like the Opera House and stuff. And so, yeah, it makes a lot of sense if they go to Sydney and she does an announcement in Sydney. Okay, so this was posted at 3:21 p.m., February 23rd. I don't think that means anything. I was looking at the time, but I don't think it means anything more than what we took from it. What did Sarah say? They do talk about the UK a lot. Let's talk about that. Yeah, so the UK and specifically London, right? Just because I think that that's, like, Taylor loves London. She's mentioned that before. The UK show, yes. I think that Travis for sure will be in Australia, and I think that there's a huge chance we see Travis's family plus potentially the Mahomes in the UK in London. Now, the Eras Tour Wembley shows are split up, right? There's 8 shows total, and they're split up over a couple different dates. So it's June, hold on. The first cluster of dates is June 21, 22, and 23, and the second cluster of dates is August 15th through 20th. I think in June, we're going to see an announcement or something from Taylor on one of those Wembley dates. Perhaps the 23rd even. We've been seeing a lot of dates for 23. So that could be our 23 also. But they could easily attend one of the... Let's talk about that. No, the Mahomes could not easily attend one of the U.S. Eras Tour shows because once they're in the States, it's going to be during football season. So part of the reason I think that they're going to the June show is because they're not in season. They can do whatever they want. They are not required to show up for training. They're not required to be doing anything. They could potentially make it out for June as their last hoorah before they get started during the NFL season. August is going to be preseason. They're not going to be able to travel internationally once that starts. So no, they could go to an Eras Tour show in the States, but traveling would be very difficult, and depending on what day their games are that week, unless they're on a bye week, and we do not have the 2024 schedules yet. Don't have them yet. Preseason starts in July. They did training camp. Training camp was the entire month of July, I believe, was training camp. And that's like when everyone has to report back for training camp. And then August is preseason. Preseason is basically like the games you play before actual season starts. They're like considered friendly matches, but it's basically to figure out who your starting people are. Preseason starts in August. Actual season starts end of August, early September. So June, really, when we look at these Wembley dates, June is the only time that the Mahomes could be at Wembley feasibly and not have football. As far as the dates in the United States go, what are we looking at? It's NOLA, it's Miami, and it's Indy. And I think NOLA's first in October, and then it's Indy, and then it's Miami. And they don't have their 2024 football schedules yet. So nothing's guaranteed, but they would be in season. Yeah, and also, like, if you were waiting to see, like, why wouldn't you go when you were off, when season wasn't, when you could just go see him in London and, like, have a really great time, and, yeah. I bet they go. I think they go to Wembley, because I also think that was the other point, is that in June, I think we're getting another announcement. I think that we'll see potentially an announcement for debut in June and a release in September. July 23rd is when training camp started for veterans. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, I think it's very possible they could go to multiple, but I think there's a reason they're talking a little bit about these two places, right? And that doesn't have to do with me thinking they're leaving intentional Easter eggs. No. But what I think it does have to do with is the fact that surely Taylor talks to her friends, family, and boyfriend about dates that are going to be super important. Hey, I'd love to see you if you were able to come to the Sydney show. I'm planning on announcing my album there. It's going to be incredible. Like, don't say anything, but like, I would love to see you in Sydney. And then, Travis is making dates about Sydney. And the reason I say this is because this is what happened to Argentina. We got clues that Travis was going to Argentina. Intentional. They went to an Argentinian steakhouse in Kansas City like 3 weeks before. We knew Travis was going to Argentina. He talked about it on the podcast. He talked going south of the border multiple times. And then especially the one right before the show. Yeah. I just like, it just makes so much sense to me. It makes sense if she shows up, if they go to those shows. It makes sense if she announces something at those shows, whether they're there or not. Because if it was me, I would be like, I would know the dates that I have things planned, and I would be like, hey, these are going to be great shows to go to. You know what I mean? I don't know about June for an announcement. Honestly, I think just one of the Wembley dates. I haven't really looked too much deeper into it, and I don't know if we've gotten much more of that information yet, to be honest with you. Taylor's Easter eggs start out fairly broad and then get more pointed. And so as far as like a June or a September release date, I think that it's still very broad. The one thing I think it's very possible a release date for debut might happen on September 27th. And that's because it's a Friday, and they tweeted a couple things relating to debut at exactly 9:27 Eastern time. But again, that's very broad, you know? And so that's why I'm like September, maybe the 27th, but like I think September and I think June, I don't know which dates yet. September 27th is my birthday. Yeah. So that would be very exciting. I would love it. But I'm not sold yet. It's a Friday that I think we maybe got one tiny Easter egg to in September. So that's all I've got for right now. Yeah. We just don't know. We just don't know. Do I think that Travis is going to go to a lot of Eras Tour shows? Yeah, I do. I kind of do. She's been to, assuming she goes on Sunday, that will be 12 football games she's been to. Do I think she'll add a set list to the debut song once she owns it? No. And this is my other Easter egg for why I think debut is going to come in September. I think that's why the debut set is the 9th set on the Eras Tour. If you guys were here a little bit ago, I was just talking about the set list orders, and that is why I think Reputation's coming in April, because it's the 4th set. The acoustic set is the 9th set. And I think the reason Taylor left debut off the set list is because she wanted 10 sets to flow into the 11th set at the end of the show, which is TS11. She goes through the Karma door, the orange door on stage. So having that acoustic set, as referenced on the Eras Tour film, is meant to represent debut. So debut in the 9th spot, I think we're going to see something released in September. So when I said I had no Easter eggs, I have 2. I have 2 Easter eggs. I just always forget what they are. Thank you for saying that, Stormy. I remember things. We do need them at a show. They would have a lot of fun. I feel like they'll go. Why wouldn't they go? I think that like Tokyo's too soon, right? And because we still got the Super Bowl. Melbourne even almost seems a little bit too soon, but Sydney. See, that's what I'm saying. That Sydney Reputation date looks good. It looks good, guys. She wore that Kobe quote. You know what number Kobe Bryant was? He was number 24. Your brain doesn't work like this. It's just years and years of liking Taylor Swift and also just autism. He was, so Kobe, yeah. Melbourne, I don't even know where I heard it. Oh, Ty's here. Hi, Ty. I don't even know where I heard Melbourne. I think on a podcast, but it seems very important to the people there that we say it properly, so I always try. It's Melbourne. Everyone say hi to Ty. Hi, Ty. We love you. I hope you're having a good day. I have had kind of a bad day because of the Barbie thing, I'll be honest with you. Can't wait for Sunday. Guys, Ty and I are going to go to a Taylor, like, Swiftie meetup in South Carolina this spring. And I'll tell you when we have details. It's on a college campus. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so much fun. But hopefully we can get together and we can make some fun content for you guys, and we'll get to do tons of fun stuff and talk about Taylor, and get to like see a college course that's like about Taylor Swift and her economic impact. It's going to be a lot of fun. What happened with Barbie? Oscar nominations came out today, and Barbie got nominated for a bunch, but Greta Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director, and Margot Robbie was not nominated for Best Actress either. And I just felt like it was a huge miss, because I think that, Vivek, nice to see you, the contributions that they made to those films and the cultural impact of Barbie are undeniable. And so, it feels very pointed. It feels like a I'll show them kind of thing to me. Yeah. I agree with you. I love Ryan Gosling as well, but I don't know how Ryan Gosling got nominated and Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig didn't. And there's only one woman director nominated on that list, so it's not because there's too many women nominated, you know what I mean? Yeah. I hope you're right, Sarah. I hope that Ravens fans are nice to her. That was my thing the whole time with, like, the Bills, is that, like, just be nice to Taylor Swift. Like, that's all I care about. Is, like, if you guys boo her, and they did, if you boo her, if you make nasty signs, then, like, I hope the playoffs play you. And I stand by it to this day. Yes, we saw Taylor Nation's post. Yeah. That S is definitely for reputation for sure. I haven't seen any threats against Taylor from the Ravens fans. I hope we don't. I haven't really seen much of anything online. So I hope it stays that way. Really, the bar is in hell. Just don't be rude. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not that hard. But, you know, yeah, booing her is one thing. Burning her picture, taking it too far. Yeah, hard agree. The burning the picture was fucking weird. Weird, right? There was so many signs inside that stadium. Like, there was only like 2 or 3 circulating on TikTok. I saw a bunch more on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. It's Twitter. It does feel a little bit violent, right? It does have a violent undertone, for sure. And then there's just the rumors that Bills fans were acting a little too rowdy and a little unsafe, and that's why they pushed Taylor back towards the suite. And part of the reason why Jason Kelce moved in front of her. I mean, we know like that Taylor likes to sit by the glass and see out, because she usually does at Chiefs games. She's usually right on the glass. So perhaps there's something to that. Yeah, Harbaugh deflected questions, as he should. You know, as he should. There's a video of fans saying they could rush the suite. That's disgusting. Yep, and Bills fans were throwing snow. Yeah, for sure. And I think also, guys, that's something to keep in mind too. The reason that Jason felt comfortable jumping out is because there were security there. There was security there. That's why he jumped out of the suite without a care in the world. Like, yes, he was drinking. Yes, he was having a good time. But he was allowed to. He was okay doing that, and no one rushed him because there was security there. Yeah, officers. Like, they could not have done that. Everything Jason did was by his own volition. Yeah. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I agree with you. It's really unfortunate. The new Taylor Nation post, I think is, obviously it's a nod to Reputation with the S's. I think it is telling us to support Mean Girls. If you're a 112 truther, Mean Girls was released on 112, so do with that information what you may. I personally am not a 112 truther. I think it is just a show of support to Mean Girls. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, guys, by the way, I've been live almost 2 hours. If you like my live, like, physically liking it just helps me trend so more people can find my stuff. So if you like please do. I would love it so much. But no, thoughts on the February 10th announcement theory. Let's talk about it. I think if 2/23 is not going to happen, the most likely scenario is 2/10 because of the Lunar New Year thing. But that's really the only Easter egg I've seen that seems solid, that it's the Lunar New Year. I've seen some of the other things going out, and of course I did that live with Danny. I see what they're saying, I do. It's just not the same kind of, Easter eggs that I was looking at. I might go live tonight. I think it depends on how I feel. Yeah, so we saw the Taylor Nation post, so that's kind of what we're talking about, is like Reputation and when we think it's going to happen. If you guys are not familiar, I have a playlist on my theory for 223/224. It's Sydney Night 2. The date is 2/24 in Sydney, but it's 2/23 in the States at that time still. So that's kind of why I'm using both interchangeably. And Taylor has Easter egged both of those dates. So I don't think she's going to announce anything on 2/7, the first Eras Tour show back. And I think that is partially, like, that's why she reset the surprise songs, in my opinion, to buy herself some time. So that people don't just start chanting Reputation during the surprise song set. Like what happened in, yeah, Sarah, you should check out, I have a playlist, 223. It's Sydney Night 2, so in the States it'll still be February 23rd, but in Sydney it'll be February 24th in Sydney, because of the time change, the dateline. Oh, I hope I'm right too, Yasmin. You'll have a good time no matter what, but, I have a lot of things, but, like, the most damning evidence to me is that 2:24 is the time that the Eras Tour clock starts at. It starts at 2 minutes and 24 seconds and goes down. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff, and I am prepared for, as dates to fall, to just sit here and have you guys start tagging me and sending people to my account, because trust me, I'm not, and I don't mean to, like, shit talk other theories, but I'm, like, so convinced at this point. Like, so convinced at this point. You cannot. The only thing that'll make me feel differently is if I see it on a live. You know what I mean? 2 ET articles. Yeah, I think that, again, it's just, like, are you just talking about them saying, like, oh, they're, enjoying each other's company, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that's all that it is. 1363. Sorry, I'm sending something. Thank you so much for saying that, Amber. Possible, not poor. I was like, oh, you think it's a poor theory? Possible. That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, I only have like 33,000 followers. So in the grand scheme of Swift Talk, I am considered a very, very small creator still. So my 224, 223 theory does not get legs or get a lot of traction. I'm not surprised if you haven't heard about it, because truly there's not very many other creators talking about that date. I really like, at least for me, I came up with that from scratch. But it's truly based on the things that I'm seeing, and it's not confirmation bias. It's like things that I've seen that I'm taking and running with it. So thank you guys. That's so nice of you. Really, my playlist has everything all in a nice little concise way. And the first video on that playlist is like a 3-minute long overview of all of our 23 and 24 clues. But it doesn't include the fact that Kobe Bryant and his daughter played their Mamba Foundation. Like Gigi, his daughter Gigi wore number 2 and Kobe wore 24, and Taylor just wore that Kobe Bryant quote. I kind of believe that Vanessa Bryant gave her that necklace in LA. And it was a necklace that the Mambacita Foundation gave out. So it is a direct reference to Gigi and Kobe Bryant, number 2 and 24. So that's like, it's a little clowny, especially for some of the other eggs that I have on my playlist, but still a nice one. Still a nice one. Thank you, Caitlin. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think that we need to do too much when it comes to Taylor's Easter eggs. Like the one I always talk about is like her graduation speech. Right? Her graduation speech at NYU was full of Easter eggs, and we only realized it after the Midnight's album was released because it was full of lyrics. And they were right there in front of our faces, you know? She wasn't giving us a release schedule. She was giving us lyrics. She was giving us songs. She was giving us album titles. Yeah. I did not just get my eyebrows done, but thank you for saying that. I get them dyed and shaped, so I'll let my girl know. The Easter eggs at the speech, the big one was she quotes Labyrinth. She says, like, breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, breathe out. She says, you know, you're on your own. But the cool thing is, you're on your own now. She's, you know, Easter egging, you're on your own, kid. Yeah, just things like that were kind of, boom, just right in your face. And again, we didn't realize it until we get it. I do think that there's a chance, good point, Sarah, of her dropping an Easter egg at the Grammys. And I only say Easter egg because I don't think an announcement or a release is going to happen on the Grammys stage. Taylor respects the Grammys too much. It's a different vibe. It's not like the VMAs. The VMAs really, like, Taylor owns the VMAs, you know? The Grammys are a little different. The Grammys are a little bit more stuffy. It's a little bit more by the book. But if Taylor wins one Grammy, it's her 13th Grammy. And that's just undeniable to me. Like, you're Taylor Swift. You have to, you know, you have to do something for your 13th Grammy. So I think that there's a very strong chance she drops Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version, as a thank you on Grammy night. Because we've already gotten the large snippet from that Amazon Prime series that was running, you know? So, or Delicate, because that was in The Summer I Turned Pretty. But I could see something coming on Grammys night when she wins the 13th Grammy. As like a thank you. You know how she does. It's my birthday, but here's your gift, you know? And listen, I save all of my lives. If I'm right, I'm going to come right back to, I'm going to be like, I'll go, Jen, I'll find you and I'll go, Jen, what day was it? I'll go to YouTube and I'll find my live. I definitely think she has stuff in the bank that are ready to drop if she wants to do something in a surprise fashion. I know, rest in peace to my storage, right? Well, I just upload them onto YouTube, so they just hang out on YouTube. But it's okay. I have to put them somewhere because TikTok erases them after 30 days. So Once I realized that, I was like, oh shoot, I need to start putting them on YouTube so I can have them. So they exist on YouTube. It's all linked to my profile if you need it. Hi. Yeah, I think she has stuff finished and completed and it's ready to go, and it's just waiting on Taylor's word. Like, I think the re-records have been done for a very long time. I think the album release party she just had in September was TS11. Or the album completion party, whatever it was. I think that was TS11. Yeah. I did see the same person was arrested. Mm-hmm. I'm in Kansas City. It's like my whole shtick. I live in Kansas City and I like it. Why haven't they stepped out in an official event yet together? You're talking Taylor and Travis, I assume. Why haven't Taylor and Travis stepped out at an official event together yet? So the thing is that Taylor has never walked a red carpet with a boyfriend ever. Any boyfriend ever. So the event they would need to go to would be something that, unless they're wanting to make a red carpet debut, it would be something where they walk the carpet separately and then go inside. First things first, Travis has been in season the entire time they've been dating at this point. He hasn't had the freedom to drop everything and go. So he's had a couple bye weeks and stuff like that, but those haven't fallen over like award shows and things like that. So ultimately, I think this summer we're going to get fed. Guys, we're going to get fed this summer. I don't think the Grammys is going to happen, because I think that, like, the reason is because I think they're keeping, I know you know this, Kayla, I think they're keeping their careers so separate that, like, Taylor will want to go to the Grammys by herself because that's hers, you know, like, she worked for that, she did that, that's hers. And I don't think that she would want that moment overshadowed by her walking a red carpet with her boyfriend for the first time, you know? That's why I think the Met Gala has such promise for those two, you know, as being their first red carpet appearance, because the Met Gala is neutral, right? It's not attached to Taylor's career. It's not attached to Travis's career. It's neutral ground. It's fashion-based. It's fashion and charity. It's something that they both have a passion for. Yeah, so that's why I think the Met, just because it's just a little bit more like career neutral, right? But again, you guys, like, I am very conservative when it comes to guessing what Taylor is going to do next and where she's going to show up and who's going to show up and be with her. Like, I play it very safe on speculating, and then if we get more, then I am, like, over the moon happy. But, like, I'm never disappointed because I always, like, set the bar super low for myself, and my expectations are always very low. You set your expectations low, it's really hard to get disappointed. My expectations for the Bills game were for Taylor to go. So we got Taylor plus Cara Delevingne plus Kelce plus Jason Kelce plus the Chiefs won plus Travis scored 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we got for Taylor at the Bills game. My expectations for Taylor in Baltimore is for Taylor to be there. And so, like, anything else we get, anyone extra that we get there in the posse is bonus. Bonus. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Ed and Donna, exactly. Taylor's friend Ashley. What I would give to be Taylor's friend Ashley, you know? Yeah, Travis's hard hands. We got so many things at the game on Sunday. And, like, that's the thing, is that, like, I went in telling my husband, like, oh, I hope Taylor's there. What's Taylor gonna wear? You know? And so I really want Swifties to adopt more of that mindset, and just whatever she gives us in whatever capacity, wherever she shows up in whichever capacity, whoever shows up with her, is just going to be an added bonus, you know, and we just set our expectations super, super low. Yeah. Okay, so Sabrina Carpenter, literally have never listened to her before the Eras Tour, and I think I love her. She's so cute. I don't know. I don't personally think March 3rd lines up with anything, but she did do for her 33rd birthday. So, you know, maybe you're onto something. March 3rd is a Sunday. Yeah, who knows? Any word about Paramore? From what I understand, Paramore is just getting a new label, right? And so they're working on remastering their works. Selena did go to the Jets game with her, didn't she? Selena went to the Jets game. I loved G-Flip's cover. I like G-Flip. I think they're very talented. So yeah, I enjoyed G-Flip's cover. It was good. Blake went. Are you guys sure Sabrina didn't go? Because I was like certain that she was at one of the Super Bowl games. Little cute girl. I mean, like, she's hard to miss because she's so beautiful. Not Selena, Sabrina. Sorry, Sabrina. Sabrina, that's what I'm talking about. Sabrina, God, I'm sorry. That's my fault. Sabrina, not Selena. Yes, Sabrina. Thank you, guys. Sabrina. I was saying Selena, I think, and I meant Sabrina. That just means I need to sleep more. Maybe I shouldn't go live tonight. I should just sleep. Goodness, I'm losing my mind. I love Sabrina Carpenter. She's so cute. I love her style because I could never wear things like that. I'm not like a cute little petite girly like she is. And I just, like, I love her. She's so gorgeous. Yeah, Taylor Nation, right? Posted this picture. Yeah. I would love to see Sabrina at another game. Yeah, I would too. That's totally it, right? I love her style because if I had money, I would be showing leg and wearing go-go boots. That's it 100%. Like, if I had that kind of money, if they said, Jordan, what kind of outfit do you want? I'd be like, pink, sparkly, tight, tall platform heels. I want to look cute. I want to look hot. Like, that's it, right? Like, that's what Sabrina's, she was like, I want to look hot. I want to look like a Bratz doll. She gets it. Yeah. I love her. She's so cute. Are we sure that Paramore's out for those dates? Because I thought that they were just getting new management and re-recording, like remastering. Yeah, are we sure that they're out? I didn't think they were. I'm gonna go with no one knows. I could Google it on my iPad, but I don't feel like doing it. It was reported that they were dropping out, but they're still listed on her site. Do I think Sabrina likes Travis? I mean, here's the thing, right? Ultimately, what is Sabrina and Taylor's relationship? They're friendly, they're friends, right? They work together, and they're friends. And like most of my friends like my spouse because he's my spouse. they don't have relationships with him outside of me, you know? So the relationship that my friends have with my husband is like, he's good to me, he's nice to me, that's all, right? They're never going to text him to hang out instead, right? Like, if he comes along, like, that's fine, whatever. Yeah, Sabrina's a lot younger. Right, that's what I'm saying, is that, like, I don't know what Sabrina would have to say about Travis Kelce. Like, I don't know what anyone would have to say bad about Travis Kelce, to be honest with you, but, I mean, I think, like, also at 34, like, who cares what people say about your relationship, you know? I think that she's probably more concerned with, like, what Blake and Ryan think. And, like, her family. You know what I mean? Just, if those people approve of her you're dating, then, like, does anyone else matter? You know? Hi, Katie. Yeah, I'm okay. It's a bummer. Like, I'm just bummed about it. Like, it's the Barbie Oscar nominations. I'm just bummed about it because it just feels like last summer, we had this just, like, summer of girlhood and just, like, love and, like, respect and celebration. And I felt like for the first time, people wearing pink in public got celebrated instead of, like, made fun of. And we had this huge, powerful summer. And then now it comes time to pay the piper and let this film, Barbie, and the Eras film, live in history, and we're not giving them their flowers, you know? Yeah, maybe I'll rent and watch Barbie tonight too, out of spite. It just sucks. You know? It just sucks. I think it's probably fair to say that anyone that's been in or around Travis and Taylor as a couple probably approves of their relationship. I don't think the first time they meet is ever in front of us, you guys. At the Eras Tour stage, I guarantee you they met backstage, at least, before. They also all had a whole night off in Argentina that they didn't play because of the weather. So, like, they could have hung out that night. I just don't think that I know for sure, it's just, like, purely logic, right? Like, we don't see all of their interactions on camera. The first time they meet is likely not on camera. I think that Kylie and Taylor probably met before they were in the suite on Sunday. Everyone's saying it was their first time meeting. They haven't told us that. So we don't know that. I feel like Travis is the athlete version of Ryan Reynolds. I could see that. I could totally see that. If this song doesn't win an Oscar, and if they dare to give it to I'm Just Ken over this song, there better be a riot. You know, on that note, it's What Was I Made For? I'm gonna go. I think I might be on later tonight. I'm not for sure. But I'll definitely see you guys around. I'll be popping on TikTok and stuff, so. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I love you. Okay, bye.